Welcome to another hsextra.com high school football video, Coach's Clipboard edition. I'm Joe Serrera, joined this week by Grimsley Whirlies head coach Darryl Brown. Coach Brown, thank you again for joining us.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Your Whirlies are 3-0, haven't lost a regular season game since 2019. How do you feel about where your team is right now in this season?
I'm very happy with our football team. I feel like we're getting better each and every week. We had the off week a couple weeks ago, and I really think some of our position groups used that week to really improve, and I think it showed up last Friday in our game against Pinecrest. We had a team meeting yesterday after school to before practice and before we went into film, and kind of talked about that a little bit. That I thought some of our position groups, mainly our secondary and our interior defensive line, really had their best games of the year. So I think our guys are getting better. It's a week-to-week kind of thing, and we want to make sure that we're improving each and every day. So I like our football team. We got a bunch of good guys that work really hard and very coachable. So I'm excited about where we're at and the future.
What have you learned about this team, this particular team so far, and what still needs to kind of be answered with this group?
Well, I've learned that we're going to play hard, and that when adversity comes, that we're not going to shy away from it. We're going to face it head on, and we're going to fight through those times. And we had a situation like that against Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a couple of different issues with minor injuries here or there that can affect your team positively or negatively. And our guys have handled those situations the right way, which is a credit to our coaching staff and how they coach these guys and how they teach them and the things that they talk to them about on a daily basis. So I'm happy with that. We got a lot of areas to address, just like any team early in the season. And I think we could be in December and I'd be upset, things that we got to address.
Right.
So there's always areas that we want to improve on and get better at. I think the biggest thing for us is just being focused for 48 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And our guys play hard, but we've made a lot of unforced mistakes that we want to clean up, whether it's penalties or alignment issues or whatever it may be, things that we can control. And we want to make sure that we take care of those issues.
Mm-hmm. You've been playing two quarterbacks, senior and a freshman. It's gone pretty well. They both brought different things to the table. How do you think that's gone, and where do you see that going the rest of the season?
Very happy with both guys. And, as far as I can, we'll continue to do what we've been doing. It's good for our football team.
Mm-hmm.
Both guys get along well. There's no animosity there. They support one another. They push one another. They make each other better. I think our team thrives with either one. If something's not going well, another guy comes in and sparks us, and then that fuels the other guy when he gets his chance to go in and do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a credit to both of those young men and how they've handled that situation. It's a credit to our team that it doesn't matter who's in the game. They rally around each one of those guys. And, like I said, I think both guys bring different things to the table that help our football team win games. And at any other position, you would play both guys. So we're doing the same thing at quarterback.
Yeah, another one of those positions is running back. You've got Khalil Stimson, who's such an important part of your defense at linebacker. He's kind of your big back. Then you've got the sophomore, Mitchell Summers, who plays a whole lot bigger than he is. And it seems like that's kind of worked for you, using those two guys, playing to their strengths and their skill sets, and getting a lot out of both of those young men too.
Yeah, absolutely. It starts with the Khalil being a senior leader for us. A guy's been in our program for 4 years and accepting whatever role that we've asked out of him. And we consider him a two-way player because he's a big part of our defense and kind of the leader for us, there making calls and being a returner linebacker. But then, he's a guy that we need on the offensive side. But he's fine when Mitchell's getting those carries, and he's right there ready to go when it's his turn. And then we've added back into the mix, coming off of an injury, Jakarion Maynard,
Mm-hmm.
who's got back with us last week. And he's a guy that will see time back there as well. So, again, just like at the quarterback position and just basically as our team as a whole, our guys support one another. They encourage one another. They push each other. They make each other better. And so that just does nothing but benefit us, because with whoever's in the game, they're going to kind of, it's their time to go. So they're fresh and they're ready, and they provide their spark when they're in there.
Friday night, your team has to go on the road to Southeast Guilford. Falcons are 3-0, have a win at Dudley. That's always been a strong program. Coach Earl Bates does a fantastic job since he's been there. Are you at all surprised that they're 3-0?
Not at all. I know Coach Bates and have played against his teams and, seen what he's done through the years. And his teams are always well coached, play hard, they're physical, sound, tough football teams. The win at Dudley is a big win for anybody to go into Dudley and get a win over at their place. So that's a huge win. But I'm not surprised that they're 3-0. And I know his kids, like I said, will play hard and will be sound, and they'll be well coached and ready to go on Friday.
What things do you see from this particular Southeast Guilford team when you look at them on film?
Offensively, they got really good size up front. Their offensive line's really big. The quarterback, I think, does a great job of managing the game. He fits well with their system and makes the throws he needs to make. And it seems like he's a really good game manager. I think their running back's a good runner. Provides a different dynamic for him a little bit. He's a hard runner, it looks like, but I think their best group is, I think, the receivers. I think they got some really good athletes out there with the Williams kid, 14, number 1. Those are some really good looking players that make plays for them when given the opportunity. And then defensively, I see a group that really flies around. We got the Dudley film. That was one of the ones we traded with them. And, anytime that you go in there and you hold a Dudley offense to 7 points, that's nothing else really needs to be said, So they fly around on that side of the ball. They're very active. They're sound. They don't let people get behind them in the secondary. I think the secondary is a really good position group. And then that defensive front, like I said, they're just creating havoc nonstop, getting upfield, getting in the backfield and just disrupting things before it can get going. So I see a well-rounded team. And then special teams, they probably got one of the best kickers in the area for sure, a guy that consistently puts the ball in the end zone. So you pretty much know you're going to start from the 20 on offense. And then when they get on their side of the field, he's got a chance anytime to score points because of him. So a very well-rounded team.
What does your team need to do Friday night? What are the keys for the Whirlies to come back from Southeast Guilford with a win?
Well, one of the things I mentioned earlier, we need to play focused for 48 minutes. Our guys play hard, but we're not always locked in on every single play with some of the things that have happened to us the last couple of weeks. So we got to do a better job of that, just being focused in all 3 areas of the game and make sure that we're assignment-wise, that we're right, and we're doing what we're supposed to do. But then other than that, it's just a typical night. We got to be physical. We got to play tough. We can't turn the football over on offense. We need to take care of it. And then defensively, getting off the field on third downs is huge. Being able to get off the field and try to change that field position a little bit, because we know for the most part we're always going to start with our backs to the end zone due to their kicker. So being able to try to flip the field defensively by getting off the field on third downs and being good in special teams in our return game, punt return, punt block unit, that kind of stuff. So tough football game. Got a lot of respect for them, and it's just exciting time with the Metro 4A starting up. I think everybody in our conference is playing pretty good right now, so we're looking forward to the challenge on Friday.
Yeah, any high school football fans in Guilford County who don't have a rooting interest in another game, Bill Slayton Athletic Field at Southeast Guilford's the place to be. 2 unbeaten teams ranked 1 and 2 in our coaches poll. Look forward to seeing it. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Joe.